is a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail, Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas, and we have wonderful guests. And I have my regular Saturday guest with me, Michelle Marie, and we are going to talk about solutions to the world problems. So let me bring her on, and then I'm going to read what we put in the description in order to take off on the subject that we're going to be talking about. Hello, Michelle. How are you?
Hi, Gail. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. And let me read this now because I think it's a good intro to start the discussion that we're going to have about solutions to world problems. And in order to change our outer world, we first need to transform and master our inner world. Inside is where peace begins. Inside is where we have our direct connection to Source or God. Inside our core is the essence of love, the substance of all reality. In a state of peace where we feel the presence of God, we are bringing in our new world with the visions and impressions, the wisdom and the processes to transform energy, dark to light, into the conscious creation of perfect solutions for our lives and our world. With new mastery gained, we can use our compassion for humanity and the power of truth to consciously create positive change. Let's be free. Let's have peace. Let's use unity consciousness with Christ love to liberate our world. This almost makes me misty-eyed just reading it, because that's what we really need. It's really a mistake to take sides about this psyop that just went on, because all it does is perpetuate the problem of division. So we want peace. We don't want war. We don't want somebody attacking somebody else. All human lives matter. And enough said. Your turn, Michelle.
Well, I think that what you're feeling also is so much compassion for, so many things that people are going through at so many different levels, because I really have compassion. You know what I've been thinking about a lot this week? I've been having compassion for people who still watch TV and believe everything that's on there. And I know, some people personally, like people I love that do that. And I know that they feel, sort of helpless, but, angry, emotional, sad. There's so many emotions.
Triggering all their emotions on TV. And it's intentional to create a mindset that they can control. It's a part of the mind control process. Yeah.
So what happens is when people's emotions get stirred up, then whatever your vision you're holding, you're creating more of it. Yes. So you're getting visions of terrorism and war and harm and destruction to humanity and to people in particular. While your emotions are stirred up, you're being led astray to create more of that. And that's why I chose this week not to look at those images at all, not even on alternative media, because it's plastered everywhere. And I don't choose to look at those images. I choose to meditate, create peace, and because of the compassion I felt for some of my loved ones, and I love all of humanity as well, I focused my attention and energy on sending peace to all human hearts. The peace that passeth all understanding in our oneness, because we are one. I mean, that's a fact. That's a scientific fact. We are one in consciousness, in the light of the Holy Spirit. You know, the light of consciousness. There is one unified consciousness. And so it's a field, really. And so knowing that we're all in the same field as one, we can, you know, send through the portal of our heart these higher vibrations and love and light and peace frequencies to other people. So I was intentionally creating peace within and sending out through my heart, specifically focusing on some of my loved ones, and then doing, you know, the general humanity, sending it through all hearts. Because, you know, and then I was envisioning peace. And it was interesting because I actually wasn't going to say this, but one thing leads to another. I was reading about how Jesus turned water to wine. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about
Yeshua.
You like to say Yeshua. And actually a lot of the things that that he's written and signed, you know, that is, he uses that word. And so this actual book that I'm going to read a little portion it's called The Aquarian Gospel of Jesus the Christ. Okay. So in that one, in this, you know, they use the name Jesus, and basically,
how can you not? Because we weren't told the truth from the very beginning about his name, nor did we know that it was changed.
This book was channeled from the Akashic records. The person who channeled it didn't speak for 3 years to get ready to channel this. It's an accurate record. This is an accurate record from the ethers, from the Akashic records. But anyway, so he was saying, what is wine? It's but water with the flavoring of grapes. So he's basically explaining his process of manifestation. And what are grapes? There were certain kinds of thought made manifest. So we're manifesting our thoughts, every one of us, whether we realize it or not. And I can manifest that thought, and water will be wine. So he called his servants, you know, and he got the pots of stone and filled it with water. And they brought him, and he said, with a mighty thought, he stirred up the ethers till they reached the manifest. So stirring up the ethers, that's energy in motion, that's emotion. So we have a world full of emotional people, right?
Right.
And so we can marry that emotion to a vision other than war. So I was setting that intention and doing that. And I know a lot of people that are coming into mastery are doing the same thing. They're using the emotional energy and marrying it to our vision of heaven on earth, of our peaceful paradise. And so he was saying that, you know, he uses this. And when I do group visioning groups with intentional manifesting, I use that process, and he calls it stirring up the ethers. I say it's an emotion evoking experience. It's the same thing. You're stirring up your emotions. You're stirring up, you know, and when people cry, when I do an emotional evoking experience and people cry, that means your emotions are stirred up to the manifest, like he said. And so with his thought intention,
realize that we're doing that when we, you know, when we evoke emotions and so on. And like you said, by concentrating on the visions of war, that's not what to do. See a peace in the world, see beauty, harmony, people getting along, people smiling at each other.
Yeah. Sorry, but I do want to say that there's evidence of great progress for humanity. And the evidence is, although I didn't, watch a lot of videos in detail, sometimes I'll scan headlines on alternative media type sites.
I scan a lot, yeah.
Yeah. And what I've seen are people noticing psyops, people who have
waking up.
People who have recorded like movie scenes where they're directing a scene that they're going to use for TV, people who have identified crisis actors and actresses, people who have identified intelligence agencies and their playbook, people who have identified deep state actors and their playbook. So all of these things people are waking up and they're not buying into the narrative. Not as many people are buying into the narrative. And I had a talk with one of my relatives today, speaking about how things are not what they seem, how not everything on television is real, and not even all the players are the actual players, but there's puppeteers behind those. And so, I tried to reveal some truth that I knew, and which is very plausible because the whole narrative is breaking down because of there's so many anomalies, that don't make sense to the truth.
People are picking up on things a lot faster.
Yeah.
I mean, there's enough of us out there that are awake already that are picking up on this stuff, throwing it out there, throwing it out there, throwing it out there. And the more people that see it, I see it going like this.
Me too. And with that, I was wondering if you would read a poem called Truth and Liberty.
Oh, I'd love to.
Oh, great.
I love your poems. You do great poems.
That was on page 45 and 46 of my book, Forever Free, which honestly, these books are really helpful to deprogram and reprogram. These will help you raise your vibration and, focus on them together. Like when we read them and stuff, that helps the collective consciousness raise its vibration. And it also helps spread the awakening. So with that.
Yes. With that being said, and I couldn't agree more, truth and liberty. Truth is shown, no reaction, evil deeds show, love's contraction. Lay down life for liberty, nonviolence now is the key. Solving misdeeds, higher consciousness glaring, renders effects to have no bearing. Stopping misdeeds from higher being, lifts the veil, all are now seen. Deception's power siphoned to none, God is clever, truth has won. Evil destroys itself, it is certain. See behind deception's curtain. Compassion for deceivers, they have been deceived. Acting on lies they have received. And reverence for Gandhi and Martin Luther King, honoring strength their principles bring. Being peace within, without, standing strong, a silent shout. Impact anchored, love has won, demands were met, light won't be shunned.
I just adore the power that Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King had, and the changes that they made by civil disobedience, not going along with what's wrong. I love them. And, to really contemplate putting their message and their way of being into today's world, that's sort of what I was trying to do this week when I was like, I'm not going to participate. I'm going to take, positive action. And then, of course, we're sharing that positive action because the more people that do it and start using mastery, we are empowered. There's so many people waking up, and I've been, focusing my attention on people waking up, actually.
And I think it's awesome. I'm seeing more and more of it, and I'm going, yes. and it's good because that's one of the reasons that we're doing what we're doing is to help people get there faster. And they will, as they open up their minds to new and different things. As they start to see the lies, they start to question more and more. And that's what we need. Because we have been lied to about everything.
And also gathering like-minded people. So some
Yes.
people are already awakened and want to gather with other like-minded people. We get validation, confirmation. It feels good to be, gathered together with other
Not
people.
feel like you're the only one out there with these crazy ideas that you or crazy things that you see going on and going, how come nobody sees it?
Yeah, we're coming together, online, and I have different groups that I'm in where, people are being attracted to one another because of, I'm awake. I'm the only one in my area that's awake, and, let's meet, let's have coffee, let's do this, let's do that.
Let's talk. I need somebody to talk to that can talk my language. That's what it boils down to.
That doesn't think I'm crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. When in fact, it's the opposite way. In many times. I shouldn't say that. That's not really fair. But a friend of mine says crazy people don't know they're crazy. And I think there's truth in that.
There's different kinds of crazy, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the good kind.
Yes. Okay, we were going to go through some parts on also in Live, Love, or Forever Free. It's Forever Free, right? 43 and 44.
Yeah, yes.
That might be kind of fun to talk about some of those paragraphs.
Absolutely. So we really are, we have compassion for those unawakened. We have compassion who are really like fodder for, making these scenarios. The scenarios are created, but people are definitely harmed and killed, because they don't care, they do it
just because
it's
false.
as a matter of course anyway, not just in war.
It's so hard for people to wrap their head around the fact, and it is a fact, that these psychopathic people really want to kill almost the entire population.
Well, depopulation is a thing. The United Nations was founded on the idea of eugenics. A lot of our corporations and the globalists are founded on the idea of eugenics, which is depopulation. And a lot of our corporations and institutions have been infiltrated with all these people that want to depopulate. Most people know that by now.
And it's so true. I actually have a little blurb by Tom Callender that I was going to play. I don't know if we should do that before this or after it, about the situation. Yeah, I like him too. And I would, in that particular video, I would encourage all the listeners here to look it up and watch the entire thing. Very important.
Yeah.
Information.
Well, let's start this, and we're not going to do the whole thing at once anyway, but we'll read every other paragraph, and then we might stop and discuss or bring something in. Even that maybe will relate to what we're talking to. I think it will. So so it's compassion feeds human rights and needs. Would you read the first paragraph, please?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Our hearts have been opened and purified as we have faced the biggest worldwide crisis of our lives. Where have we found strength? Where have we found peace? Where have we found answers? Where do we go when we are facing trials and tribulations? As we experience and watch others face severe life challenges, naturally we go to God and seek solace. We need comfort. We need the higher perspective. We feel for our friends, family, and people around the globe. We pray.
Okay. As God answers our prayers and brings us what we need, we reach out to others the best we can. We get knocked right out of our old lives and we stretch into something new. We are creative beings. Inspiration and passion rise from our compassion for humanity. And I want to mention right here, because something that's been coming to me quite a bit is that as people awaken, they're discovering their gifts and their passion and what they want to do to help. And people have different gifts to help. Like you made a channel and you're having people come in and you're speaking about the truth. And other people have gifts of prophecy. There's other gifts of knowledge or wisdom. And people are sharing their gifts. And, often, we hear people say, well, this happened, and then I was called to start doing this.
Yeah.
The response was, I feel like it's my calling to help spread the truth about this, because they find out they're not an isolated case like that guy we talked about last week, where his daughter died in the hospital.
Yes, which YouTube, let me add, YouTube took both channels down for that video because we were reporting truthful things that everybody has a right to know. They are the enemy. I'm sorry, but they are.
Well, over the target and badge of honor, but he even said himself that he had gotten letters and communication that people learned what he had to say and made some changes and saved some lives. Same thing with Dr. Brian Ardis. He's getting all kinds of feedback that his information saved lives. We're saving lives. People who are stopping that information are against life, and people who are getting the truth out are saving lives. Thank you, God. I mean,
yes,
good
thank
for you.
I'm here to save people, not promote any type of killing, death, or violence of any sort. Anyway, and
Okay.
people, it's like you said, people are coming out in the areas that they, for some reason, got triggered in a lot of ways, or all of a sudden they know this is what I have to do, and I'll like doing it. I'll enjoy it. It's going to be something that they actually feel good about doing.
Well, and called and signed up for before birth, for crying out loud. That's what a lot of star seeds and light warriors are doing. It came to me a long time ago that we're here to break cycles. And I was just looking at somebody's near-death experience. And this person had been abused, physically, sexually abused in a particular religion. And she had a near-death experience. And she came out, she broke the cycles of abuse. She talked about her experience. She exited that religion that she was in. And now she's spreading truth to help others and has all these abilities, because people are getting psychic abilities, intuition, telepathy, different paranormal, or what used to be paranormal experiences, direct connection to source, direct divine guidance, downloads. This is happening to people across the board. Intuition and discernment. Almost everybody can relate to those two things. Intuition and discernment has risen in just about everybody, and that's part of the Great Awakening. What do you think?
Oh, definitely. And it's coming on a regular basis. And as it comes on, as people get more truth, it starts to raise the frequency, because truth has a frequency. I keep saying that, but it does. And we have been swimming basically in lies. And as more and more of those lies it's like cleaning the water. If you had very polluted water, and we've had very polluted everything that we've been told. And so as that gets cleared and cleaned and the truth comes forward, frequencies will rise, and it's happening already.
Also, it's the love frequency.
We were born in love.
United. There's no division that can stop us from loving one another. I love everybody. And I, all the stuff where they try to cause division and, make up reasons to divide us with this, that, or the other. Real people with real hearts and real families do not feel that way. We feel love. We feel compassion for people in other countries, other areas of our own country. We feel compassion for what people are going through, and we want to help. And we feel the unity. So we want to spread the truth, and we have the love, which comes out in the form of compassion, feeling for each other. So we have unity, and that's that Christ love, Christ consciousness, which is bringing us together and empowering us even more to solve these problems in that vibration.
Yes, and it's happening.
It is happening.
And more people are starting to see it as well. Have been so impressed with some of what I've seen people saying about this last PSYOP just manifested, and people are going, no, this doesn't add up, and that's the beauty of it all. Shall we continue on this?
Yeah, I'm going to read this part where it says, we cry sometimes. And that's so true. We cry, like we'd cry.
Yeah.
Other times we feel the anger when watching injustice. We watch people being deceived and falling for lies, then making decisions that they often regret because of the unexpected consequences. A whole lot of misplaced trust in so-called experts and officials have caused untold harm. Some had lost that direct connection to God, where conscience and intuition points out discrepancies on what is good and right. And the best example of that is whether or not your decision about that. Misplaced trust.
Yeah, very misplaced. Just like the government is not here to save us.
Yeah, well.
If you, they were all in on it. I hate to tell you this, but anyway, we don't want to go too far down that road.
Well, I hate to tell you, but a lot of the medical care is a medical scare, as I mentioned before.
Exactly.
It's not care. It's, you better beware.
Pushing that, yeah, they are operatives of a lot of the bad things happening in our world. So, yeah. Okay, so I will read the next paragraph or two. And I like that one because we all seek truth and justice. It is imperative that we operate within the law, God's law, our inalienable rights, not the things that man makes up. Okay?
That's right.
Specifically God's law, even if others don't. It is crucial that we operate with peaceful intelligence. We know that war and fighting is wrong and obsolete. Our adherence to law and nonviolence is a reflection of our connection to God and the strength within. We continue to pray, meditate, and commune with God to fortify our union with Him. We seek to solve the myriad of world problems that we encounter. There are gatherings of people who care that are taking action around the world. Tours, events, rallies have united people of like mind and like heart in these unprecedented times. When you are there, you have a deep sense of love and unity. It feels refreshed and encouraged by the field of energy created by such gatherings.
There's a lot of groups that get together and they talk about truth, they meditate, they put people in healing circles. I have a few groups like that, actually, where we gather in groups and we perform service that is ever more powerful when you have groups with unified intentions and unified prayer. And stuff.
There's a lot of that here. I just wish more of it was free. That's a scourge on our planet sometimes.
The groups I go to are free. There's just like a small donation, the amount of your choice for chipping in.
If you have it or if you don't have it. That's why I do that on my channel. I don't charge for anything, which is, makes things difficult. But at the same time, I don't know. It's just a difficult situation.
Well, the universe is mathematical. The universe is mathematical. It's not always quid pro quo, which means you don't get the energy back necessarily from the person you're giving energy to, but it is mathematical. It is an equation, and the equation comes back in a couple different ways. If you're putting out positive energy, positive truth and information, and you're using your life energy in a beneficial way, you're going to receive benefits and rewards. I mean, that's like, it's a mathematical fact of physics of the universe and how it works.
Even if it's not something that you're getting or seeing right then and there, right?
Exactly. You've got money in the bank. Energy in the bank that is coming. You know, it will come. Absolutely. Without a doubt. That's part of God's law. It's mathematical. Okay. Our faith is ever increasing as we observe evidence of God's hand in our world. He is pouring out his spirit to us. We are taking part in the solutions to rectify some terrible situations. We do this because we have to. We need an outlet for our compassion. We feel the motivation to do something. And we each go according to our own passion. And I know mine is like education, writing about truth. You know, I go to groups. I'll hold signs up. I've done that many times. Educational awareness groups. You know, that's, you know, education is sort of my primary thing. And then I use my gifts of intuition for readings and for guidance and to help people find their life purpose and discover their gifts. One of the readings I do is called God's Gifts, and it's a 2-page form I downloaded from my guides. But, you know, people are identifying their gifts and they want to get really clear, and then they want to give of themselves and their gifts because that's what they're for. And, you know, I was actually, you know, reading part of the Bible this week, and it was talking about how all of our gifts are different, but we're all part of the same spirit. We all get our gifts from the same spirit, the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of God, the Great Spirit, whatever you want to call it. The same spirit gives us all of our gifts, and we are all part of the same body of spirit. And so he really sort of went into, you know, does the thumb say I'm not, you know, part of the body, you know, because I'm not the eye, I'm not the one that sees. No, we're all part of the same body, the same spirit. We're all one, is what he was describing. And then that famous part of 1 Corinthians 13, whatever, it's like, if you have all these gifts and you don't have charity, then, you know, what do you have? You got to be
really have, yeah.
really to give your gifts. And that's why we don't wait for money to give our gifts. We give our gifts as much as possible before, and not for the purpose of receiving financial benefit. Yes, it'll be nice to be able to, you know, pay rent, buy groceries. But we have to live on food.
That is a nice thing to be able to do. Since we are the only species on the planet that has to pay for a living. But we won't go there.
But no, the point is we're doing something. Like when you're called to do something, you don't just wait for all of the, you know, opportunities or, you know, everything to be handed to you.
It can pass you right by if you don't and move on to someone else.
You make it happen. You give your gifts and you make it happen. And then eventually, you know, it like a hobby might become a career or something like that. But we're in the paradigm shift. The whole world is shifting, and people don't really value those spiritual gifts as much yet. We're just starting to. We're just starting to recognize and receive
our power, our inner, we have power within. We're connected to the Creator, but we've been so led to believe we're, you know, we're nothing, we're small, we're little, we're insignificant. Is right. The word.
And that's the past. That is the past, because the Great Awakening is realizing who we are, what our powers are. And we're shifting and changing right now. I mean, even this week, I felt this new energy come in, and I just had to sit with it and integrate it. And I felt almost dizzy sometimes because I was feeling this energy shift. Mm-hmm. It was really coming in strong.
I felt that too, because for a while, like the week before, I felt like I weighed a ton. You know, like I felt very heavy, and it took a lot of energy to do anything. Like I don't know what it was. I mean, it was a lot, either it was a lot of negative energy, or it was frequency that they were putting out on us, which they do, by the way. Whatever, but I felt a lifting.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. And it was uplifting.
I did too. I felt sort of neutral, like things weren't bothering me. I felt this great sense of peace. And I think being able to integrate, I've always felt like when there was a lot of positive energy coming in to integrate, I would sleep and rest a lot. And I had a couple days of a lot of sleep, which I couldn't even help it. I mean, it was just, that's the way
necessary. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So your turn after do something.
Oh, do something. Yeah, do something. Everybody needs to do something. This is the thing, though. If we don't speak out, then that's like, what do they call it? Tacit consent.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a problem. That means if you don't say anything,
evil can only exist if good people do nothing.
Exactly. So you have to speak up. You've got to. And and when you'll like what Tom Callender says too. Okay. It is not okay to trample on the rights and needs of people. It is not okay to perpetuate crimes against humanity. And it is deplorable to commit heinous crimes against our children. Our passion for what is right, our compassion for those that are harmed, and our empathy for our fellow humans is increasing our motivation to take action. People are just starting to find out about what's been happening to our children in this country and around the planet. And that's why it's so important that everybody sees the show Sound of Freedom. And it's just a very mild introduction. Let me put it that way. So that will motivate people, I guarantee it, once they find out, and they're starting to.
There's a lot of hard truths coming out, a lot of hard truths, including what Todd Callender has to say about that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'll read the next, you read the end, and then we'll do Todd Callender. How about that?
Sounds like a plan. Okay, let's do it.
It is clear that the overwhelming majority are standing up for human rights. We've had global protests and trucker movements. We have the real journalists who fight narratives with solid evidence of truth. We have parents standing in front of school boards. We have good people in all walks of life fighting the good fight. We are each playing a part to take a stand. We are doing it lawfully and peacefully, but stand we will, and we won't back down.
I love that. Yes. Our love is great. Our compassion is strong. And our dedication to infusing human rights across the world is resolute.
We said it. We meant it. That does it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's listen to this little.
Yes. I love it.
I do too. And let me find. Oh, there's. And the name of the video, so you know. Let me share my screen. Okay, are we seeing him? There he is. Okay, now let me make that bigger. I keep losing my place here, sorry. Okay. Here we go. I brought it in a way. I would highly encourage you to watch the entire thing. We obviously can't do that here, but just listen to this little part here.
Right, whether it was by paraglider or otherwise, it makes no difference. We have open borders. There is nothing stopping people coming into the United States right now. They've been doing it now for a couple of years. Frankly, it's been a lot longer, but in masses, and they've been financed to do it. So we are in the middle of an invasion, and I know Americans don't want to think about it. I know they don't want to know or consider this as being a possibility. Why? Because it means you have to do something about it. That's what that means. But at the minimum, Seth, people can do what you just said. You can prepare yourself, and I couldn't agree with you more. You think your money is safe in crypto or in a bank? Boy, that couldn't be more false. Even the Israelis shut off all of Hamas's money with crypto accounts they were using. So it's not safe. Get yourself physical currency, silver, gold. What you hold in your hand is really what you have. And by the way, the other prep that nobody talks about that people have to understand is skills. Build your skill sets. right? We can eat from our labor alone, but you have to have skills others don't have. Build your skill sets while you can, because this is coming. 7 billion people are marked for destruction, for extinction. It doesn't matter if it's an invasion or a nuclear war. Death is coming to us if we allow it. It's our job to not allow it.
I agree. And it's our responsibility as husbands,
That's
as
right.
fathers, as sons. It's our responsibility. So I want to, there's a lot of other stuff I want to really.
That's the gist of it. We could watch more, but I would encourage you to go ahead and watch the entire video.
Yeah, that's good. We need to be prepared. We need to be strong. We need to, do everything we can to, just be ready, be at the ready, and follow our intuition, because, when things come up, whether it's the weather or there's just something where we'll get this feeling like, don't go there, or do go there, or do buy this.
Listen.
We can, yeah.
That's where your intuition is kicking in, and you need to listen. And we have been so distracted in our lifetimes that we forgot some of these things that make us what we really are. And we're very powerful beings. We just don't remember. And we have to remember who we really are. And part of that is we are divine beings created by the creator of all that is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And that connection. So one time it was really weird. I was living in California, and I was guided to go get wood for the fireplace, propane for my little one burner thing, and lighters. They were basically centering this thing around fire is what I thought it was. So, and I got candles. So I got all these materials just based on my inner guidance. And lo and behold, our electricity went out for 3 days. And I had a little cook stove that I could take on the front porch, and I could make soup or water for coffee or tea. And I had, wood for the fireplace, and I was all set. But when that intuition came through, there was no news about that going to happen. Mm-hmm. And anyway, so I listened to it and I followed it, because often I'll get very clear intuition and follow it, and it doesn't make sense at the time, but then it always turns out to be,
Yeah, I've had things happen like that too, and I'm going, why did I get this anyway? And then later find out that I'm really glad I had it.
Yeah,
things like that. And I have that. I have those a little stove like that too, actually, and even a 2-burner one, because I have over the years. Last couple of years, I have prepared some as much as I could on a very limited budget, but so you just get a little at a time. And,
exactly. Yeah.
Because it's difficult times could be coming, but that doesn't mean we have to succumb to it emotionally in a bad way. People don't realize how strong they really are, and sometimes these tests are actually that actually show you how strong you really are, because sometimes I can look back at some of the things that I've gone through and I go, oh my God, I can't believe that really happened to me. Or I can't believe I went through that.
Tests prepare you and making you strong and giving you a chance to use your intuition and, preparing you and qualifying you for other things coming up. It's like practice. And then you need it more than sometimes you really need it.
Yes, really.
But there's a higher view too. I mean, this is all God's plan. There's a changing of the guard happening. The old power structures are breaking down. We can see it happening.
Yes.
People just aren't believing in all that stuff anymore. And
it's a beautiful thing, because it needs to go.
It really is. So, we're connecting to source. We're letting go of our ego and drama, and we're becoming masters of energy. And we are really, truly evolving our consciousness during this whole divine plan, this whole scenario that's playing out on Earth, during this, great awakening and breaking of cycles and increasing of discernment and intuition and feeling the power of our soul and not, being victims or anything. So with that, I was wondering if you would read a poem, Inheritance, from It Is a New World After All, this book right here.
Okay, yeah, I have that one. Yep.
Okay, and that's on page 8. You're so nice to be so amenable to read these poems when I ask you. You never
I
think
love your poems. They're so relevant. That's how I see it anyway, and that's why I enjoy doing it.
timely, yeah.
And actually, on the page before the poem starts, it's called Inheritance, but it also has poem Psalms 37:11. But the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace.
Yay! I'm glad you saw that.
Yes, I was guided there.
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay, I will gladly read this poem. Inheritance. It seems as though we're weak at times when we go inside to dwell, but that is where our true strength lies. It's not our outer shell. The times I feel the strongest is often when I cry, because then I go right to our source and strength wells up inside. I feel God's pure love pour through me, soothing me through my soul, and expressing it to others is now my only goal. So many of us dwell inside enough. Now we can say the changing of the guard is surely on its way. Look at all the misery we're creating here on earth. It doesn't have to be that way. We need new vision first. A vision powered by love, seeing what we can create, shifting internal consciousness, opening heaven's gate. Of all God's great creatures, the strength comes from the meek, who now shall inherit the earth, providing answers we all seek. Dedicated to the inner strength in you. What a beautiful poem, Michelle.
Thank you. I think that speaks to all of us. It's sort of revival. Each one of us have been made to delve deep within and find that and use the connection with God, because we need God. We need the intelligence of God. We need that light of the pure intelligence and that pure love, because from sometimes from our standpoint on the 3D, it's hard to see all that and really understand. And we need to raise our consciousness and ask for answers and gain new understanding and ask for wisdom and, make sense of it all, and also get our strength and get the answers so that we can overcome Goliath,
It is Goliath, I swear.
Yeah. Feels like that sometimes, doesn't it?
It sure does. I was looking to see if anybody had any questions on the other platforms, because I'm not able to get questions unless I'm on YouTube, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to give Restream a hard time about that, because they need to get questions from one of our uncensored platforms. Once again, that's one of our unalienable rights. People need to refresh their memory about that, because those were God-given rights.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what and I'm going to have to go on to this a little bit, excuse me. That's also why we need to be for our organic original Constitution for the United States. And that's how they tricked us. They said of the United States. That was the corporate Constitution. But the organic original said for the United States. So that was a divine inspired document to help people stay free. I mean, it's a guide, and we need to bring it back. We've lost so many of those freedoms. It's not even funny.
Oh, well, we are responsible to educate ourselves. It's our responsibility to educate ourselves and find out what our rights are, find out what's been going on, realize we've been hoodwinked, find out the solutions, stand in our integrity and sovereignty, and realize that people are claiming jurisdiction over us that don't have jurisdiction over us. They're holding over a fake law, which is man's law, which they're trying to override God's law, and they can't do that. Not if we don't let them.
And their purpose is to make money.
Well, yeah, that's power, control, and greed. Power,
Yep.
control, and greed.
Yep.
Well, that's okay. We're coming into our own power, becoming empowered, and we're going to whack that energy right off the earth. That's how I feel.
All right. Yeah.
And with that said, victims become creators on page 12.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And the first, I have to read the page before the poem, as usual.
Okay.
Okay. The title of the poem is Empowerment. And the quote is, empowerment is just a matter of realizing and expressing our true selves. So, you know how they have, what people need to recognize is the victim programming that we are circumventing now, because the programming is breaking down, because we're raising our frequency, and we are, as a result, getting more information and knowing more and seeing these things quicker. And sometimes you think to yourself, my God, why didn't I see that before?
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of that happening with everybody. So anyway, the title again is
I
Victims.
want to add to what you said. They did dumb us down, and they put limitations on us so that we couldn't see our true self. So they limited our own perception of ourself so that we could see ourselves as only being, they really tried to make us see ourselves as only being physical and not spiritual. And as soon as
That's
we
true.
realize the kingdom of the soul, our soul power, our soul perception, our willpower, our power of intention and creation, which is what's happening now. It's all over. It's all
That's
over.
our real strength. It's not this body. It's our
Yeah.
heart and soul. Yeah.
Okay. Victims become creators.
Okay. Victimization once perceived, clearly illusions now relieved. Empowered by soul, nature unfolds. New story now to be told. Each life is impacting, 'tis the universe reacting. Sparks of soul igniting, passion, expression uniting. Consciously creating essence of soul, being inwardly, outwardly whole. Harmonizing with all that is, deep sensation of being this. Power of consciousness is the key, changes within individually. Personal impact realization upon total world, every nation. Creating with vision, feelings of heart, new world experience, this is the start. Energy of compassion, tool to create. World, wake up, don't hesitate.
Yes. And we are waking up to those powers of creation. Our thoughts and where we place our attention, our thoughts and our images are so powerful. If we could just master our thoughts and realize that we're creating and put our attention on positive creations, ask God for images of the end result, which is heaven on earth, end result of the divine plan, the light victorious, our peaceful paradise. Ask for the positive images and thoughts from God, attuned to God's will, God's mind, and our own soul's blueprint. And we are getting there, but we need to realize that the narratives are meant to shape our minds and our visions and create a reality that we don't choose.
Want, yes.
So we're not going to be victims. We're not going to create somebody else's vision of war. We're going to create our vision of peace. We can do it. We can master our minds, our thoughts, and our attention. And that's what we're learning to do right now. That's the solution, to be a creator and not a victim.
Exactly. And looking at what's going on right now, when you think about how they try to get people to pick sides and they go, you're for this side or you're for that side, it loses the entire human element.
Mm-hmm.
The people and their names and their faces and so on. It's just like it's one group tells it all, and it never does. So anyway,
Yeah.
What else do we have? Do we have any other ones here going on here? Mastering consciousness.
Yeah, mastering consciousness. Yeah,
that's the goal.
That's where we're at. Okay.
That's on Live Love.
I'll start with the first paragraph of that section. It's page 212 of the book Live Love, Master Vision and Vibration to Create a Better World. Mastering consciousness, we are becoming masters of consciousness. And like you can just see it right now. Everybody I'm looking around, and I know that people are learning to master their consciousness. We are doing that by delving deep into the roots of our true self. Our true self-awareness is a product of soul searching, self-reflection, humble asking within, perceiving the realm of the absolute eternal God Spirit, praying to God, meditating on spiritual truth, contemplating in a state of curiosity, opening our minds and hearts to receive the higher vibrations, attuning to divine will, and surrendering the selfish self, which is the ego or narcissistic self, to attune to divine oneness of whole universal self. So we're giving up our individuality for universality, and we empathize and feel compassion and feel for each other. So we open our hearts and minds to new ideas and inspiration and intuition. Deep perception makes many masters.
Well, see, that's how they've tricked us, because your perceptions are based on the information that you're given. And if the information that we were given, which is documented by William Casey, the former CIA director, that once the American public believes everything we tell them, we will have accomplished our mission. That's not exactly how it was said, but that's what he meant.
Believes all the lies.
Lies, yeah.
Lies are truth. Yeah. And that's propaganda. That's consciousness manipulation.
And that's where we form our perceptions from those lies. And that's what's a problem.
If we want to become masters, we take our attention away from TV and propaganda and go within deeply, and we get different information, and we get a broader, higher consciousness with a wider awareness and perspective.
Yeah, see, that word perspective comes in there because that takes into account truth.
Yeah, and that's where we attune to truth, because the light within, the very base of our consciousness, is truth.
Exactly.
And that's where we build our conscience. Conscience is the light of truth. If we're not in attunement or alignment with truth, our conscience will bother us, and we'll feel bad about ourselves. And if we are in alignment with truth, then we'll feel good about ourselves. That's that intrinsic value. And so, if you are telling a lie or taking something that's not yours, or, you feel that conscience. And so then when you start saying, well, I'm only going to do what feels right. I know what's right or wrong, because we all really do. We have that inside, and I'm going to follow that. And I feel good when I'm loving and kind. I feel bad when I'm mean. And so, if we follow our conscience and attune to truth, that divine spark within, then we're on the right path. But these people that use mind control, MK Ultra, and propaganda, they basically break people so that they don't follow their conscience. So they do things against their own will. It's a trick. It's a spell. Probably.
It's just so nasty. Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, you're up next.
Okay. Every step we take to exit the mayhem of the outer world to explore inner space renders a great benefit to the soul. We have so many ways to do this. Each individual uses many avenues, and some prefer certain soul experiences over others. But we all get there, and it doesn't matter how.
Yeah. And we all have our challenges in life too. Like everybody can think back on their own particular challenges in life. And these, we as souls pretty much, chose this life, chose certain things to overcome, to develop our souls and evolve, and to be able to use our strength and our gifts. And so it does take a lot of strength, especially like, let's just say, for example, not that it happened to either one of us, but some big, strong men wearing a costume with a badge, attacked us.
Yeah. Easy to intimidate us little women, huh? Anyway.
Right. So but we have to use our intelligence and prayers and soul strength to overcome those things, which, it actually does work. It's not for the faint of heart at all, is it?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Yeah, some experiences actually, when you look back at them, you go, wow, I can't believe I survived that, but I did.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah. So you pick up and you go on.
That's right. That's right.
Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward.
And you gain strength along the way. I mean, the things that I lived through, I feel stronger from having been through them.
Same here. Same here.
Yeah.
They actually broaden your horizons in so many different ways, which actually increases your understanding of more people and more, ways and how you might feel and things like that. It really does. So.
And it strengthens your inner light, and it makes you feel stronger inside. And yes, I can practice loving and forgiving, these people who have abused their power and have caused harm. But I'm telling you, from being able to overcome it and live through it, I feel a little bit like a badass sometimes.
I've been called that before.
Well, you are. I mean, you go through all this stuff and live through it, that makes you more of a badass. I mean, just saying.
All right. Well, based on that, let's go to the next paragraph.
Keep going.
Okay.
If you master consciousness, you're a badass. I'm sorry. That's how it is. All right, keep going.
Okay. Some enter the realm of the spirit life through being in nature and listening to the birds, loving the trees, watching the water, feeling the breeze, adoring the beauty, and feeling the essence. Sometimes we just find quiet solitude and go within while voicing our concerns to relieve our earthly burdens and request assistance. Or sometimes we read inspirational literature and feel in poems and feel the resonance of meaning for our life at the present time. At times we are in a zone of inspired creativity and we flow with passion of ideas, flowing while sensing the joy of expression. Whatever the method, the feeling is terrific. We really are conscious creators. We really are mastering consciousness. We really are truly blessed. We really are so much more than we thought we were.
We really are. And that's happening right now. And we are in the midst of this great evolutionary change. And it's good to pay attention to the positive things and really sort of look back at how much we've grown individually and collectively. I mean, you've come a long way, baby. It has meaning.
It really does.
Commercial.
Exactly.
It's
So
to
true.
humanity and to every individual watching this, and to you, Gail, you've come a long way, baby.
So have you, Miss Michelle Marie, Angel.
And we're still going. We're
What a
keeping
perfect
on,
name.
keeping on. And, all of us together, everyone who watches this, everyone that resonates with this energy, whether they watch it or not, we are unified. I mean, there's a bunch of, I'll say it nicer, light warriors.
Yes.
They're standing, for the truth and raising their vibration to love and compassion and taking positive steps to make a better world. And we are absolutely replacing and making obsolete the old systems by building new systems. And,
And by exposing those systems for what they really are and what they've really been supporting. And that's the area that's so important. And we're making great progress. We really are.
Don't expose them. People are going to walk right into, killing murder houses or, zones that are dangerous, and stuff like that. So, our intuition can keep us out of those zones and away from those institutions and build something new to replace them, which we are.
Right. And I guarantee you, those of us that are standing for what's right and godly and good are going to be protected.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, reading part of this, I wanted to say, it said something about asking. We need to remember to ask. We need to ask all the time for protection, for answers, for guidance, all day, every day. We're working in concert, in loving cooperation with angels and guides and, other dimensions. And so we are all one, and we have power backing us. And we have to remember that we can call on for help. Call for help. Lean not onto your own understanding, but call for help. We're here to be each other's angel too, right here in the body, and calling on the higher angels and archangels and masters and Almighty Father God, and however you want to name
and this is how people can help each other too. Sometimes just a kind word, a smile, talking about something, or listening to someone explain what they've just been through, which may have been something horrific, or the loss of a loved one or loved ones, more than one. I mean, it's people are going through a lot, but they're very strong and they can deal with it when people express compassion to each other. That's what love is all about.
And listening with an open heart, giving them time to process and express. And, because all of that, sitting with somebody, listening with somebody, that transmutes energy. Crying transmutes energy. We're here transmuting energy, and we're lifting vibrations, and we're making change right now. We're changing the world right now, even as we speak. And every day we're changing the world. Everybody is working together.
Yeah, and I can't emphasize enough how important our thoughts are, and to delete negative thoughts whenever you recognize them, because they don't help anything. I mean, not that you don't see something negative that's happening or something like that. It's sometimes it's hard to explain. But
it takes a lot of vigilance, because things happen and you have to put yourself back to right and lift your vibration right away. Like in traffic, somebody might cut you off and you might have to slam on the brakes or something. You're like, what were you thinking?
You get around. Yeah.
Then you want to, bring God in, like the one I like to use is say, God bless you with better driving skills.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. May God bless you with better driving skills. Speaking of driving skills, ever since I took my car, I haven't been able to go out into nature, and I find that very disturbing.
Well, God will bless you with another car, Gail. And I'm using the power of the spoken word. God bless you with another car. And I want everyone to envision Gail with a new car.
I mean, it doesn't have to be brand new, just new to me.
A car that works. A
Car that works, yeah.
You're driving around. You have transportation. That's your blessing. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's the power of group intention and group visioning. If we see you with that car and our emotion of compassion and love for you is stirred up, then marry the feeling with the vision, then let it go and surrender. There's like a 3-part thing, and manifestation, it scientifically works.
Somebody on YouTube, I must be on Freedom Range. Carlisle, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And thank you, Michelle, as well. But Carlisle, I guess that's really nice of you to say that. Thank you. So that means that one YouTube channel is actually on and working, Freedom Range. So if anybody's out there listening who wants to ask a question, you can go to the Freedom Range YouTube channel that I still have, that they haven't taken down yet. So, and unfortunately, it's the only channel or the only platform that allows the question. So if there is anybody in the listening audience that wants to ask questions, that's the place to go right now. But anyway, we have another section to do, don't we?
There's just one little bit from this same section that I'm going to bring out, and okay. That is sort of a summary in a way. It's sort of an ending and sort of a summary, and that is, it's all about identifying, in other words, understanding ourselves and that we're one with the light of God as the source of all intelligence. It's the highest intelligence. It's infinite intelligence. And so once connected firmly through our heart to that intelligence, the light of God, the infinite intelligence, our conscience grows, evolves, and guides us to higher and higher vibrational frequencies. And here is my prediction. We are going to be amazed at what unfolds over the next few years. Amazed. Positive things.
Yes. Even the next few months, I think things may happen that may be actually good things.
We're going to have good things coming in. There's going to be a transfer of wealth. There's going to be free energy. The patents have already been released. We're going to have better health care. We're going to have people that actually really do care. The changing of the guard means people that do have your best interests at heart are going to be in a position to help, and they're going to remove all of the corrupt people who were selfish and narcissistic and actually downright evil. So those people are being exposed and removed. That's the part that I believe is biblical. And we're seeing God's hand by exposing, and we're part of God's hands and fingers and toes and eyes by exposing those things. And
He works through us, and that's why our perceptions and our feelings and thoughts are so important.
Exactly. Attune to God. That's actually, been my spiritual practice each morning, is attuning to God and God's will, and asking for his intelligence and to be aligned with his mind and the answers and everything, and asking questions. Ask questions, ask for help, get help. Nobody's alone. There's solutions to everything, and we'll focus on the solutions.
Okay. And she says it should happen in the next few days or weeks. And some really good things are supposed to happen. And so don't despair, and don't fall for all the baloney that they show us on TV. I don't even watch it, but I've seen, they take clips from it and so on. Oh, as a matter of fact, there's something I meant to have it brought up. Let me find a little clip that people will laugh at, and it's a good way to end the show. Yeah. So you talk while I find it, okay? I think I have it on. Let me see if I can get a hold of it.
Good, because we read the poem before, Laugh at Fear, And we really need to laugh and be in love and in laughter and no fear. And so find funny things to watch. It's also very healing for your body, mind, and soul. Lots of laughter. I laugh at myself a lot. That's pretty easy.
Yeah, I do that too. Oh, here it is. I found it. Okay. Let me open this up. This cracked me up when I saw it. Let me make it bigger. And then let me share the screen. This is funny. It's on my Facebook. Share. And I have to, oops, I just brought this up. I meant to share it this way. Okay. Alrighty. Here we go.
I don't hear anything. Is there some recording or something?
Yeah. Did you hear that?
No.
Was that, you didn't hear any of it?
Nothing.
Oh, shoot. Let me try it again. Let me see what's going on here. I don't know why that, wait a minute. Oh. Okay, let me see if you're seeing this page. This was the page I meant to play. This is not right. Sorry. I'm still sharing the screen, right?
No.
Oh, geez.
Now we're
Okay.
on.
Let me, I'm sorry about this, people. Bear with me, though. I know what I have to do. I have to share the screen again. What happened was it goes to a separate page when it's on. So, okay. Let me see what you're seeing. I have to go between browsers here. That's what's going on, and it gets tricky. So.
Hezbollah is very smart. They're all very smart.
Hezbollah is very smart. That's the Republican candidate's position.
Lawrence, calling a person or a group of people very smart doesn't mean you're embracing them. For example, Iran made Joe Biden send them billions of dollars. Iran is smart. Joe Biden is dumb. Let me give you another one. MSNBC, your outlet, made half of the country believe in the Russia hoax. MSNBC is smart, but at the same time, you are still a fake news piece of shit outlet.
I can help.
Hilarious. Oh my gosh. Talk about breaking down the narrative and the programming and the propaganda. Oh, victory. One for victory.
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't help it. I cracked up when I saw that. Sorry that it had took me twice to do it, but
that was worth it. Definitely. Well, we got to laugh. You know, there's a lot to laugh about. And also there's a lot to celebrate because there's so much progress being made. Imagine like even only.
And a lot of it has come recently in the last couple of weeks, really.
Yeah. Some people had difficult awakenings. You know, things happened that made them look into things that were, you know, like death, adverse reactions, you know, all kinds of different things, which I won't mention, but it's difficult to wake up that way, but in a way, we signed up for it. You know, it's like, okay, I'll go through that. I'll learn this. I'll wake up. Because essentially, we're playing parts and our souls are eternal. You know, there really is no death.
Nobody dies. Yes, that's so important. That's so important. That was one of the big lies from religions and so on, which I did a couple of shows on. Anyway,
And actually, fear, the most manipulative tool, is based on the fear of death. So if you don't have a fear of death, fear goes away completely. Nobody can intimidate you or, have you. And fear and buying into somebody's program, somebody else's program is, going to work out. No, it's not. When we discover their programs like 15-minute cities or, they're going to do this or that. No,
fake alien invasion.
Yeah,
It's gonna be.
Their playbook has already been exposed. They've been exposed. They're coming down fast. They're coming down hard. They're on the last, vestiges of, pretending to have control. People are laughing. Speaking about laughing, that clip you just showed was like perfect. Perfect. That basically shows what's going on in general. They're being laughed at.
And that's why they're in a state of panic. But they've been very good bad guys.
Yeah.
But way. My God says I don't get that exactly. But why do God say
There was one early on that said, "That's my problem. Nobody relates to me." A lot of people are like that. And, please,
yeah, I didn't show his up there.
back to the show, make your comments, put some,
This is another channel, by the way, where you can ask questions. They do on DLive and Twitch. If you will go and watch the show on those channels, you can ask questions. But it's been difficult to get people to move.
Well, yeah, we can educate people on different channels. I know I think I have DLive, and what was the other one you mentioned?
Twitch. They're both gaming. They're more gaming channels.
But people have videos and they can have audience participation, because I think I joined Space Shot 76 and I joined DLive so that I could, participate in the commentary at one time with them. So I've tried these things out, and, we need to have some sort of a education and how to join these channels and stuff.
You really need to think about moving away from a channel that supports and conducts censorship. The only reason that I have tried to even open another channel with YouTube, I feel like I'm working with the enemy and I don't really want to, but there are so many people that are still there that I'm trying to get to come over to an uncensored channel. You're not helping by staying on censored channels. And I know a lot of people have, but there's a lot of people that haven't too. Because when I was with YouTube, I had 10,000 subscribers, and I'm not anywhere near that on Rumble yet. So there's a lot of people still that need to move over. Maybe they come in anyway and they just don't subscribe, but it's really important to the channel for you to subscribe, like, and share. And I'm going to ask you to please share this video. It will help a lot of people if you do.
Yeah, it does help to share. So there's a comment there.
Oh, that's the one from earlier about that's my problem. Nobody relates to me. You will find somebody out there.
Yeah, you have us. The one that came in about keeping vibration high.
Oh, okay. I just saw that now. Okay. And you're right. Our vibration keep them high. And how do you keep the vibration high during the day? Listening to music.
Gratitude. Think of things to be grateful for. Gratitude is a high vibration. Love, praise, gratitude. Think of people that you love and send love. Pray for people and send love. Stay in the vibration of gratitude. Be thankful. Think of things to praise. Like, thank you, God. I see the beauty of nature. I admire trees and flowers, and I admire nature a lot all day
I
long.
do
Thank
too.
you God for the beautiful blue
Yeah,
sky.
it breaks my heart. I can't go hiking like I used to, but I will again, guarantee.
Well,
But that's nature is very great for your vibration, but sometimes people can't get out there. But there's a lot of good 432 music that you can listen to as well that'll keep your vibration up. And joyful and comedy, all those kinds of things.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, that was one of the things I was doing this week. I have this Tibetan flute music, and I put it on.
Yeah,
And
that's
it
really
just
good.
makes the whole environment around me just feel so peaceful and calm, and it's very relaxing.
I had the opportunity to go to a sound healer when I first came to Sedona for not very, I wasn't here that long. And a friend of mine at the time suggested I go to this sound healing session, which I did. And they used drumming, and it was such an awesome experience because I had all kinds of visions
Mm.
that, it was really cool. Anyway, it's a frequency thing once again.
It is.
And-
Sounds amazing.
Yes. And I heard that it's sometime in November, they're supposed to project I don't know how far it's going to go, but almost at least a nationwide, I don't know if it's planetary or whatever, 432 frequency.
Oh,
I haven't don't quote me on this because I got to get the details. So I'm looking into it because that would be fascinating, wouldn't it? That's a healing frequency.
yeah. Very fascinating.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Okay, we are love, we are light, we are peace. We're being it and we're creating it. And that's the solution.
yes, those are the solutions we highly recommend. And have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, we are listener supported. And if you can support the channel, it's always appreciated very much because, boy, they've been hitting me hard, haven't they?
Yeah.
They took our last 2 channels down. They took my whole channel down once before. It's just endless. And it is affecting me financially. So, and I have some wonderful products, so I hope you take a look at them. They are.
Well, thank you for your work, Gail. And you have all those links in the description box, correct?
Oh yes, yes. Your links so that because these books are wonderful. I highly recommend them. The poetry is even my son loves them, and he's not a big reader, but my one son anyway. And every little bit helps. Thank you so much.
For
And
everyone.
hearts, love to everybody. See you again next week. Be
Bye.
good. Bye-bye, everyone.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers. Stronger than ever. Never say never. Don't look back now. Don't look back now. Rise up, stand with each other. We are sisters and brothers, finding our place and running the race. We'll take our chance and seize destiny awaits. We are all the actors in the stories we create. Hope will be our guide. We'll no longer hide. When we roll like thunder, feel the wonder from inside. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors.